Like and subscribe right now, or this will be in your bed tonight.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ProRevenge. You're watching I Read 'em, the only channel you need for your ProRevenge needs. Before we start, please click like, subscribe and the bell icon for more videos. Subscribing is free and you can always unsubscribe. Thanks.
My girlfriend is not to be messed with. This post was originally on r/ProRevenge. However, many people thought it could also qualify as pro, so I'm posting here for your enjoyment as well. On mobile, so sorry for formatting if it is odd. This story is not about me, it is about my badass girlfriend. This situation is still in process, but nearing an end, so there might not be an update in the future. My girlfriend worked for a tanning salon. It is a national chain, which means there are plenty of policies that are to be followed. She originally worked at a location about a 30-minute drive from home, but after a few months transferred to a place that was literally 2 minutes from our apartment. I've always known that my girlfriend was the kind of person who is genuinely sweet. Unless you treat her badly, then she can strike back twice as hard. Once she started at the new location, she immediately got the vibe that if you weren't in the group, which included the main manager, you weren't to be trusted and would often get the short end of the stick. She has plenty of charm and is a very bubbly and warm personality. It's definitely not hard to fall in love with her. This didn't stick to the girls in the group. She soon found out that every girl there smoked weed. She personally didn't care at all, but the chain's policy is no drug use, and they drug test. The manager said they never test them, so no one really cares. This manager truly didn't care about the rules. She would leave early on her shifts, if she would even show up at all, and her and the group would never come to work in uniform. My girlfriend was not close to being in the group, and became an outcast. She was forced into shifts that she said she couldn't do because of a primary job that was at once not a problem. She would often have to work a call-in shift, followed by a regular shift back to back, sometimes going over 10 to 12 hours when they had plenty of workers, which made this unnecessary. There was an argument between her and the boss, which led my girlfriend to put her 2 weeks in. The company's policy stated that as long as you put in a notice, you would still receive your commission based on sales you made for the month. My girlfriend was promised she didn't have to work a second shift in a row, so she made plans with her family. As it was time for the second shift to start, she was told she couldn't leave without first consulting the main manager, who had been ignoring her for the better part of 2 days. Once she got a hold of her manager, she said they were short on hours because the manager simply did not show up for a few shifts that week, so she had to stay. My girlfriend was fed up and promptly counted her drawer and left anyways. On the 2-minute drive back home, her manager texted her and said, "Now you don't get your commission." Now to the revenge part. My girlfriend immediately called the district manager, the store manager's boss, and set a date to have a discussion. In that discussion, she had a compilation of screenshots and proof of the group not only smoking weed, but doing it on work property and selling it in the store. She also showed proof of every rule that the store manager had broken, including having group chats with the group where she called the district manager ignorant. 2 weeks later, my girlfriend was offered her old job, and every single person involved in the group were fired from the store. My girlfriend had single-handedly got revenge on every person who treated her poorly while she was there, and ended up with her job back. TL. Doctor, girlfriend treated as outcast by coworkers who broke every rule in her job, and she got every one of them fired and kept her job in the process. Kid bullies my kid. I get his parents a divorce under review. My kid, 6F, before lockdown went to school and always came back crying or with something missing. And whenever I would ask her what was wrong, she run to her room and say it was nothing, but after me and my wife pressured to see what was wrong, she then opened up and said a grade 5 was bullying. Well, this kid was the son of the vice principal, so he was well known, and usually now one could lay a finger on him, but I couldn't sit and do nothing while my kid cried, so I devised a plan. I wouldn't say I'm pals with the vice principal, but we would usually meet at BBQs, so we would usually say hello. Well, one time we met up and went for drinks. Well, what comes after is a bit disastrous, but this is /ProRevenge. When we went for drinks, he became very smashed and threw up a good amount of times, and well, he rambled something so amazing. him. Thanks to me going to other schools I got to meet a lot of great women. His talking was a bit slurred, but that's what he roughly said, and also this was during Thanksgiving, so I don't have the greatest memory of it. Well, after him saying this, I started asking more and more questions. He started saying on how he slept with so many and how none were like his wife, who I feel a bit bad for. After this I ask if we should walk to the strip club and drink more, and honestly I was a bit tipsy. After we got there he started woo everyone who walked past him, even men. After a while of more drinking we went and got strippers, and well, one thing led to another, and he asked if he wanted to get a prostitute and I declined. And well, the next morning he called me saying on what he didn't, him panicking and crying while I had a huge grin on my face. Note this was about 5 in the morning. Well, I told him not to worry, and this is where things get a bit weird. Well, after he called me, I waited about an hour knowing the call girl's place and called them to know the woman who slept with him, and eventually they found her, and well, I paid her about $350 to go to school board and say what he had done, because what he did do would get him demoted or fired, and well, the latter happened. After we got our plan straight, she went to the board and said what happened, and shortly after he got fired out of work conduct, I think. And well, his wife is going to divorce him, and I think right now he is with parents. TL. Dr. Kid Bull is my child, so I make his parents divorce. Half the class fails a midterm after cheaters copy me. TL. Doctor at the end. I don't have a problem helping classmates. I really don't. I even tutored several classmates during my final semester of undergrad because they needed the help. They all ended up passing their classes with my assistance. This story comes from a particularly tough business information systems class during my undergraduate education. The students in this class were mostly non-technical business majors, so this new material wasn't at all similar to anything we'd learned in other classes. Needless to say, most of the students were struggling, including me. I still had a 4.0 in college at this point, though I finished with a 3.99, and I was willing to put in maximum effort to keep my stellar GPA. I started studying hard. I made my own Quizlet sets. I read the book every night. I finished assignments a week early, and I did outside research. After grinding it out in this class for about a month, I was working on an assignment in a room designated for quiet homework time, and that's where our story begins. Several other students from my class were there and working on the same assignment I was on. Judging by the size of exasperation, the irritated whispers, and requests for help, they weren't having much success. Having studied relentlessly for a month, I was having an easier time of it. As I got up to go get some water from the fountain in the hall, a classmate asked for my help. I told him I could do that, and I'd be right back. I returned a few minutes later to find what I can only describe as a bunch of busy bees happily working away. This was strange, since they were hopelessly stuck 2 minutes before, but whatever. My classmate tells me he figured it out without me. Now, I'm not an idiot, so I know the 5 people in this room probably copied my work off my computer when I went to get water. Scumbag move number 1. But as it turns out, no one in the class needed help the next day or the day after. Whoever in the study room had stolen my work had forwarded it to most of the class. Scumbag move number 2. I don't mind being helpful, but I hate being used, so I made a plan to get back at the people who had stolen my work. It didn't take long to organize my plan and carry it out. Here's how it went. I changed an answer on the next assignment by multiplying by -1. $1,500 became -$1,500 on this question. The next week, I left my computer in the same place as before and went to get water, just like I had done the week before. 75% of the people in my class of 40 people put -$1,500 as the answer to question 3, which was definitely incorrect. I began studying relentlessly for the midterm. Our professor had said he wouldn't adjust the weight of the test, something like your score /50 on a test with 60 points available, so your score of 40 becomes 80% instead of 67% if anyone scored particularly well. This class was difficult, and no one was expecting anyone to score over 75%, so all my classmates figured the weight of the test would be adjusted. My plan was to wreck the curve, even though it's not a curve, and deny everyone the adjusted weight by producing a sufficiently high score. I recruited a classmate who hadn't stolen my work to study with. Together, we aimed to score high enough that our professor couldn't adjust the weight of the midterm. Here's how it all played out. No one who copied me realized the answer was incorrect. Every last one of those idiots submitted the wrong answer to question 3. This next part surprised me, but my classmates began insisting the class was unfair, too difficult, or rigged, and launched these complaints at our professor. One day after class I had the following exchange, since I was the last student out of the classroom. Professor, do you think this class is too hard? Me, honestly, this class is hard, but if people spent as much time studying as they did complaining, they'd be fine. They really need to just get to work. Professor, I thought the same. Me, deciding spur of the moment my next move. I also happen to know that most of the class incorrectly copied my work on the last assignment. Question 3 should be a net income of $1,500, not a net loss of $1,500. I put down the wrong answer initially. Everyone copied me, and then I changed the answer later. I think you can reasonably conclude that anyone with minus $1,500 as the answer cheated off of my incorrect work. Professor, I figured they all copied, but I didn't know you were the source. Anyway, thanks for your candor and your dedication to the class. I didn't cheat, so I don't know what happened to those who did, but depending on the class, they would either get a 0 for the assignment or a plagiarism citation, so they got one of those. Fast forward to test day, and I'm ready to go. I know since most of the students are business majors, they need 70% to pass the class, because it's a required course. Hurting them on the midterm will go a long way in helping drop their grades. I take the test, I'm the first one done, and I leave pretty sure I've done enough to deny the class the exam weight adjustment. A week later, we get our exams back. Tests are distributed all around me with scores on the top in reading: 68, 71, 70, 66, 75, 67, and these are the smart students. Someone on the end of my row takes a test from our professor and lets out a sigh as he begins passing a test down my row. It stops on my desk. 93%. I've won. Some idiot in the front of the class. So is there going to be a curve? Professor, nope. Me, what was the high score? Professor, 93%. Average score for the exam was 71, so a good number of people didn't get a passing score. Maybe they made up for it on the final and passed, but I don't care. I got mine. TL, doctor, people steal my homework, so I bait them into giving a wrong answer, tip the professor off on their cheating, and score high enough on the midterm to deny anyone a chance for an adjusted score.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos, and this would also encourage me to make more videos. If you have any thoughts about today's video, then comment down below. I have plenty of other videos on my channel, so please check them out. Bye.